Hi, what's good, guys? Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? To all returning subscribers, I want to say thank you. If you're just joining me for the very first time, thank you so much, guys. So, for those of you just joining me today, I want to say thank you, everybody who's watched my video over time, everyone who has liked the video, has shared the video, has at some particular point, had to support me by recommending my channel to a lot of people. I want to say thank you. So I'm not going to waste your time. This live session will be for just 30 minutes so that people who want to watch it can have enough data to watch. I'm also considering your data, right? So shout out to everyone. Hello, Nkechi Onunkwa. How are you? Please, if you can hear me clearly, just go to the comment section and just say hello, just say hi. I can just see you people there. A lot of people are coming up live. Please like this video. It's very important. Please like this video. It will help YouTube to recommend this video. So basic, right? I'm not here for a very exciting story. There's been a lot happening in the country called Nigeria, and this has got to do with our younger students, people who are in school, right? And of course, a lot has been happening. For those of you who have been following the story about Sylvester, there's been a lot happening with Sylvester. Okay, we all know that Sylvester's passed away, and this was due to a lot of things, right? A lot of facts unfolding, a lot of things have been happening. A lot of people, like 17 people passed away, 17 students passed away because there was a truck, that they ran into them. They were trying to cross the road, right? It's not even far from my place here. I stay in an estate not far from the road there. And, I was just in the estate when they told me something just happened, right? And this is becoming appalling. Now, there's a lot of things that's happening, and I just want to talk about the Sylvester issue. So, like we all know, Sylvester passed away due to a lot of circumstances. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, he left the school. When he left the school, what were the parents doing? Why didn't the parents, take him to the proper hospital?" A lot of people are saying, "Why did the school lie?" So, I want to just break this down for you and let you know what the latest is. So, the school, right? The school came out to say that he was playing football, and that is a lie. The first part was the fact that the school lied, the institution that is responsible, that the kids were placed under, who are responsible for the guardians, the tutelage, the growth of these children, lied about the person who they were in charge of. That's the first thing. The second part is this. After they lied, the father of the boy came out and said that, the guy mentioned about 4 or 5 names of students who he claimed asked him to join the gang, right? And then in the long run, we realized that first off, this guy did not play football. The second part was the fact that this guy, while he was dying, he mentioned a few names. Now, these names have been mentioned. From what we hear, 3 of these boys are in police custody. And at the moment, right, 2 of them are at large. So 2 of them cannot be found. The 3 boys are in custody. The police, the housemaster is also in custody, right, with the 3 boys. So now I am asking, the boys have been arrested. The housemaster is also in custody. They've questioned the principal, vice principal. They've questioned people. They've probably started, investigating some students to say, "Oh, what's up? What did you know?" The people who they claim play football. Some of the students who were in the hostel that night that they came to beat Sylvester, they're also being questioned to know what extent, what is the main issue, what happened to Sylvester, how come you guys were there when all these things happened. Now my question is this: will the school not be charged to court? Because the problem here is we're all shouting about, the principal. I know we're shouting about the school, we're shouting about Dowen College and all of that. Just to let you know, a lot of this is happening in other schools that we have no idea about. A lot of things are happening. I recently had one, Dowen College. I don't know how true it is. I saw it on social media where somebody was talking about Dowen College, right? I'd say that, somebody was talking about Bowen. Funny enough, the name sounds alike. There's Bowen and there's Dowen, right? So I don't know what's happening with the Owens. Now, for Bowen College, this lady fell off the staircase. She fell off a floor, right? And she hit her head on the floor and her head opened up. Now, the school did not, according to a report that I saw online, this is a report and whatever, the school did not call the parents of the girl to tell her that their daughter was dead. After 3 days of, effortlessly, reaching the girl. The dad was trying to reach the students, the Precious girl. Her name is Precious. The dad was trying to reach her in school. I think her name is Precious. Then they called the school authority, they called the matron or whatever, and they said, "Oh, your daughter is sick," and blah blah blah. And she passed away. And then the school offered to bury the child to cater for the burial expenses of this child, of this girl in question. And after that, they buried the child. Then we later found out that the dad carried an autopsy on the child, maybe before the child died or after the child died, and found out that she died from a trauma of hitting her head on a hard surface. Now, a lot of things are happening in our institutions, especially schools, where you find out that a lot of people are just about the money. Now, you'll be amazed that we have people. There's somebody that I know who is also an entertainer, who is part of the administrative structure of Dowen College. Please, if you can hear me clearly, I need to see a thumbs up in the comment section. There's somebody that I know who is she's an entertainer, and she's part of the structure, the academic structure in the school. It's been hard on her, it's been tough on her. I know someone who knows one of the fathers of the boys in question who have been arrested, right? And now the father is saying that, "Oh, my son didn't do this, my son didn't do that." But my question is this: how will this justice be served? I know the way this country works. Before you say Jack Robinson, a lot of things will be swept under the carpet. Now, I want to ask, don't you think that Dowen College should be charged to court? Because this is a school where it's amazing and appalling that they will not even have CCTV cameras in the school. According to reports, they don't have cameras to monitor the students. Cultism is happening in the school. Where did the students get the engine oil? Now, one thing that really got me angry that I heard was Kemi Olunloyo talking about the fact that the guy really wanted to join the cult. The guy wanted to join the cult, and because he wasn't agreeing, that he first agreed to join the cult, that when the process became too tough, then he wasn't going to join the cult anymore. I'm wondering if Kemi Olunloyo she has a son. Just imagine it was her own son who was in that position of Sylvester. I don't know if she's going to be saying all of this. Now she's claiming that Sylvester was at fault. This guy is late. We're trying to find justice for him, and you're just saying that Sylvester was at fault. He agreed to drinking engine oil. Is it engine oil that peeled his mouth? Now I want to ask a question. I saw something on social media. I want to know if you guys are following me. I need you guys in the comment section, please. Somebody was asking a question and said, "What happened when the guy left the school?" I want to hear your comments. Listen to this question. When Sylvester left the school, and 7 days after he died. When he left the school, his mouth wasn't peeled. After he left the school, his mouth started peeling. What do you think happened? Some people are saying the parents probably took him to some medical places where they gave him some concoctions to drink that peeled his mouth, right? Other people are saying it's Femi Olunloyo and I are saying it's engine oil. Is it the engine oil that peeled his mouth? Or was it the time that he left? One thing that people are waiting to see also is the fact that what happened between the time that he left the school and the time that he passed on. We also need that part. But as it stands right now, right, we know that Femi Falana, that's Fal's dad, is the lawyer in charge of Sylvester's case. And at the moment, we're looking forward to see what's going to happen. But I'm just wondering that will Dowen College not be charged to court? Because this is it. If that school continues to run, then there has to be a lot of checkmating from the school. The government has to checkmate the school. Little did we know until there was a protest recently by mothers who went to the school to protest, right? And we realized that 3 students had already passed on from the school. 3 students had died in the school even before this Sylvester's case blew out of hand. And that is really shocking too. In a school where if something is happening, you need to inform the parents. You need to let them know as soon as possible. You need to have details. You need to be very open. You need to be transparent. Please like this video. You need to be transparent about the whole process. Imagine putting a child in school and then the child dies after paying 3 million naira for what I heard. I don't know how true that is. They pay 3 million naira to be in that school. You cannot blame parents for taking their children to boarding school. Most of us went to boarding school. I never once went to boarding school, but I know I have friends who went to boarding school. And I totally understand the fact that there's always bullying. There's bullying in every boarding school. There's no, even in day school. I was in a day school. I went to government college, right in Ibadan. And a senior can give you 15 naira and ask you to go and buy food of 250 and still bring change of 100 naira for him. It happens. It happens everywhere, but they're just in grades and in levels, right? But in a school where you pay so much amount to train your child, it is really terrible that you would go hustle, make money, pay for your child's school fees, and you'd be amazed at the medical facilities and infrastructures that they have in that school. First off, I'm wondering how the school does not even have HMOs for their students. It's crazy. Most of these schools are owned by big people who just want to make money. They just put structures, they put the child of influential people there so that other people can come. So you just hear that, oh, the son of this person is in this school, right? The son of this other person is in this school. This person's son is in this school. Or that's why my own child also has to be in the school. And guess what? In the long run, you're doing yourself because you claim that, oh, Colonel, this person's daughter is in this school. This person's daughter's son is in this school. My child also has to be in the school to the detriment of your child, and that's the problem. Now, my question is this: do you think that justice will be served? Most of us here on my timeline, Nigerians, some of us Africans, some of us live white people. Do you think that justice will be served? We've had lots of cases beyond the fact that they're children, beyond the fact that this is the child case. There are lots of other cases that have to do with adults. And before you say Jack Robinson, we don't hear anything. Before you say something else, another issue happens and covers the whole case up. So, two things. Do you think that Dowen College should be charged? That's number one. Who do you think is the prime suspect or the prime criminal in this case? Is it the boys? Is it the housemaster? Is it the school? Now, we heard something about the principal. The principal of the school presently had been a principal of another school before now. And there was a woman who came online to say, see, this principal, when she was the head of another school at some particular point, her child was in the school. And while her child was in the school, somebody bullied her child. And the principal was trying to cover up and say, you know what, let's just settle this amicably. And she was telling this principal that somebody bullied my child, and you're telling me to keep quiet. So the following morning, she came to school, waited for the boy in particular that bullied her child. As soon as the boy came down, she collected the bag of that boy, grabbed the bag. Then the mother of the boy came and said, what's happening? And she landed the slap on the mother's face. And she got into her car and drove off. And she didn't communicate with the school for a few days. The next time she came to the school, she came to the principal and said, you know what? The next time that rubbish happens, you're going to see Pepe. And guess what happened? Nobody bullied her child. She left the school. Only for her to realize during this case that it was the same principal who was handling her child's school, who was the principal in her child's former school, that is now the principal in Dowen College. Now, I think that beyond all of this, we want people who are experienced, but we also want people who will be fathers and mothers to our kids, who will understand the fact that, see, this could have been my child at any point in time. So when you see principals, a lot of principals are just, they act like they don't have kids. Not all principals have emotions. They act like they don't have kids. They act like, it's not my child, so I'm careless about this. I'm only particular about my salary. And sometimes you will not even blame these principals because the people, the owners of these schools are also very harsh. They want to protect their name. That's all they're all about. So look at Dowen College right now. They're coming out and saying, okay, this is what happened. And we're sorry. We're going to make investigations. We're open to investigation, all of that. But guess what? The school is shut down at the moment. And I don't think that whatever they say at this particular point will count. Now, on the other hand, we saw the fact that 17 students passed away somewhere around the Judo Grammar School there. And you will wonder, what is happening? A truck ran into those children. The school is just by the road. And every time you would see students crossing because they're actually going to their houses. So how do we sit down as people who have a government in place? You understand? We have a government in place. Somebody's saying, hello, Martins Obiora. Howdy, Femo. I'm good, man. Why was this child not rushed to health facility immediately? This was called by the school. Yes. I'm saying that, first off, how do you collect 3 million naira? How much is an HMO? Shouldn't it be part of the criteria to getting the child into school that we have an official hospital? Yeah, premium hospital. Funny enough, Evercare Hospital is just on the same road with Dowen College. I know Dowen College very well. I drive past it very well. There's a hospital called Evercare Hospital. There's Reddington Hospital. These are premium hospitals that are just in Lekki Phase 1 there. And you will find out that. And when I was looking at the video when they were treating this boy, I was wondering, how are you treating this guy like this? The hospital was, the clinic in the school was looking like a classroom to me. Honestly, the clinic was looking like a classroom to me. So you take a child, you pay 30 million naira, and you do not have a hospital in your school. I'm not saying set up a whole hospital. You don't have a medical facility that is premium, that in case anything happens, you do not have a doctor on site. You do not have a doctor that is, maybe they had. You do not have a premium medical facility in your school to take care of the kids. Now, people are saying that the license should be withdrawn. I think that it should be withdrawn if they are not ready to do business. If this is the fourth child, if you do not know from reports, during the protests, we learned that 3 children had already died in the school, and we didn't hear anything about it. Now, this is the fourth child. It was Sylvester's case that made people realize that a lot of these things have been going on in the school. There's a school in Abuja where a girl died, maybe last year or something. And you know what? A condom was found in a private part. She was raped, and she had sepsis. And this is a school where children, the future leaders of this country, are being groomed. You will be amazed that most of these children can, in my own time, we probably had just located 310 to do whatever we wanted to do in school. In this age and time, people have tablets, they have phones. So what do you say? Children have access to drugs. You'll be amazed. They said in that school they smoke. Children smoke. Come on. What is smoking? It's a lecky. People will supply them whatever they want. They have gatemen who they will give money that will go and buy these things and pass it to them. So at this particular point, if Dowen College, if this is the fourth death that is happening, if Dowen College is not ready to do business, they should leave the educational system alone. It is very important, because how long do we want to wait for more children to die? Now, I'm talking about the fact that some children were crossing the road. And on the road, it's an express. It's a fast moving road where cars can drive and zoom at any time. And we're not even thinking of putting officers on both sides to make sure that when the students are crossing, they are safe. We're not taking responsibility, and it is painful. 8 children died recently, somewhere in Badagry. They locked themselves up in a car. They took their daddy's car keys, along with some other people's children. They locked themselves up in the car, and guess what? They suffocated to death. So what are we doing as adults, as parents? Now, I'm telling you the honest truth. If we don't speak up as people, you can say that, oh, it didn't happen to me, it didn't happen to my cousin, it didn't happen to my niece, it didn't happen to somebody close to me. But guess what? What if it had happened to us? Is this the way we're going to be quiet? Don't say that it's the responsibility of everyone. It is the responsibility of every adult to speak up. It's the responsibility of every father and every mother to speak up. A lot of these atrocities are happening in schools near you. In fact, you need to sit down. You have a kid, sit your kid down, ask them questions. How is school? What's happening? Who are your friends? So in school, when you go on break, what do you do? How's your teacher? How does she treat you? How does he treat you? When you want to go to the restroom, does anybody go with you? Is anybody touching you inappropriately? You'll be amazed. There are a lot of violations going on. 5-year-old children in school, 5-year-old children at home, 5 uncles, aunties abusing people, abusing these small children. And guess what? We're all going normally, like business as usual. So these 17 students passed away in a very tragic manner. I literally could not watch these videos. And guess what? The following day, it was like business as usual. In Lagos State, Nigeria, we just went ahead like nothing happened. In a country like Canada or whatever, there will be a total blackout, the state of emergency. There'll be mourning for 3 days. Nobody goes anywhere. But guess what? Everybody went as if nothing happened in Lagos. Nothing was wrong with anybody. The people who died have died, so their parents should deal with it and all of that. And that's crazy. And I think that we should speak up. Social media, speak up. You have a child in school. Do you realize that, I don't know how true it was, but they don't have a PTA, Parents Teachers Association. I don't know if that is true. I don't know. But if they did have a Parents Teacher Association, there should have been issues like this that should have been coming up at Dowen College. So if you have a child, if you don't go for PTA meetings, it is better you start going and start raising questions. It is right now the time for all the schools to be shaken up, right? That's the right word. We need to shake the schools up and get the people who are doing wrong to check out the educational system. Because if a student in SS3, in SS2 is prone to drugs right now, what will happen to them when they get to the university? These are the people. If you have cultism in secondary schools, why wouldn't they grow and look out for cultic group or cultism or whatever in universities? And that's what's happening at the moment. So I'm saying that It is our responsibility, people. I'm not here to talk about, any other thing apart from this whole issue about our kids. It is our responsibility, either as fathers, as mothers, as uncles, as aunts, to take charge of the well-being of every child around us. It's very important. You find somebody who's overly familiar with a baby, check it, report to the parents. Uncles are abusing baby girls, aunties are abusing baby boys. You'll be amazed that 5-year-old, 6-year-old people are having intimacy with your aunts. You'll be shocked. And that's the truth. I'm telling you for facts. Right? So let us take responsibility and take charge of what is happening at the moment. We cannot close blind eyes to this. It's December. In the space of 2 weeks, in the space of 3 weeks, a lot of tragedies have happened to our children. And above all, we need to also pray. Whether you're Muslim or Christian, we need to pray to God to avert all this trouble and all this tragedy that's been happening, right? I just want to, that's what I came to talk about. Thank you so much to everybody who reached out to me when I was in Sierra Leone. I was in Sierra Leone for the EcoFest for 1 month, and it was an amazing one. Shout out to Peace Square, everybody. Shout out to the Kabaka, the convener of the EcoFest, right? Peace Square, for the first time, performed on the same stage, right? So you can hit me up in my DM at the Femi Daniel on Instagram, on all social media platforms at the Femi Daniel. That's my handle. Okay, guys. I'll be bringing lots of other videos for you this week. There should be another protest. If the government isn't saying anything about Sylvester's case, there should be another protest at the school on Wednesday. And if there's a protest at the school on Wednesday, I'm going to be there to stream live, right? I'm going to be there to bring it to you live, right? I'm going to stream it live and let you know what it is all about, right? Justice has to be served for Sylvester. It cannot be business as usual anymore in our schools, right? If people are unfit to run schools, shut the school down. If you're unfit to run a school, shut the school down. We know you want to make money, but do you want to make money at the expense of a child's destiny, at the expense of a child's health, right? At the expense of a child's moral? Do you want to make money at their expense? And parents, we need to sit up. In as much as we're trying to hustle, we want to make sure that our children get the best of education. This best of education that you're paying for, you might be paying for something else. Just in the case of Sylvester. Sylvester had come home to tell the parents that, see, I'm being bullied in school. But the parents ignored it. They ignored it. Now they ignored it to their own detriment. With all these ramblings and everything we're trying to do, Sylvester is gone. No matter how much we cry. Except God wants to do a miracle. Sylvester is gone. You get what I'm talking about? So let us be intentional about watching over our kids. Some of us, our parents watched over us to see that we didn't turn out bad. Most of us here are doing fine and doing well to a very good extent because we had parents who watched over us. It is our responsibility as parents, as dads, as moms, as uncles, as aunts, to watch over our own siblings, to watch over the kids, the future of tomorrow, right? Somebody said, Daniel, listening to you is making me think, why that's Angela Coco Tijanberry. Okay, if the boy's mouth was not done while talking about the parents, whoever treated the boy before during his death show being interviewed. Fantastic. So yeah, I was saying something the other time about, I'm saying that when we're thinking it forward, let us also think it backward. So when this guy left the school, his mouth was impaled. After he left the school, we found out that his lips started peeling. So now, what happened between the time his parents or whoever took him from the school, and the time that he died? How did his lip peel? Where were the places they took him to? Did they take him to a hospital? If they took him to a hospital, who did the x-ray? Was he treated? Was he given something to drink? Was he injected? They said they did a scan. They were trying to check for broken ribs because he was beaten, according to report. What happens to him between the 168 hours, that is 7 days, that he was taken from school and the time he passed away? We need to make sure that we get all these findings. And guess what? Most of the time, people might want to sweep these interrogations under the carpet. But trust me, if we really, really will not fail the oncoming generation, if we're not going to fail the children who are in school, the other children who are in school right now, it will be our responsibility to get to the root of this matter. How do we get to the root of this matter? By what I'm doing right now. You have the phone with you. Comment, tag the necessary bodies, tag the commissioner of police, tag the school, tag the governor, We are expecting justice. We want to know what happened. What happened? Who is at fault? What if Sylvester could make it and not pass away? What if he couldn't die? What if he didn't have to die? Was it when the parents took him away that the case got complicated? You get what I'm talking about? Was it while he was in school that it was complicated? We need to get to the root of this matter. We need to know who is responsible. You know that the school has been very careless. They shot themselves in the legs, number one, by first lying about the fact they play football. So number two is this. So whatever they say after that will also have to be checked. If they told the truth from the onset, then we'll probably believe them, for the further statements. You understand? So at this particular point, we need to put everything open. Thank you so much, Jane. I appreciate you. We need to put everything on the table. Details have to be found. Now, somebody said, Amudat Rurala says his mouth started bleeding after the effects of what he was given to drink in the school. So now we need to know, Amudat, we also need to know what was he given to drink that made his mouth to start peeling. Where did he get it from? Was it acid? Was it engine oil? You get what a chemical lawyer was claiming that it was engine oil. So all of this we need to know. Because guess what? In this whole process, you'll be shocked that there might be some ulterior motives to this. Even as we're talking to you right now, there are some ulterior motives. Some people are trying to capitalize on this whole issue and use it in their own favor. Outside of the whole Sylvester and the school, you'll be shocked that some people want Dowen College shut down. And of course, I'm not against Dowen College being shut down. I mean, if they're not ready to do business, shut the school down. There are a lot of lives at risk. Shut it down. So what I'm saying is this guy is dead. Can we interrogate all the hospitals they went to? Can we interrogate the doctor in the school? What if it was from the school? We're just saying, what was he treated with in school? What did they give him to take? At what point did they call the parents? Everything has to be detailed. We need to go to the hospital he went to. When he left the hospital, where did they take him to? What did they give him at home? You understand? What was he given at home? You'll be amazed that sometimes you get home. A lot of us do self-medication. Before you say, Jack, they brought one I'll go from somewhere. They say, oh, no worry, just give him this concussion. You go, deal right. That's it. And the person takes it and does something else in the system. This is a young boy, 12-year-old guy, whose immunity has been shut down by maybe the level of whatever he has had in school. You get what I'm talking about? Most of this boarding school that you pay high money for, most of them, when you get to the school, the living conditions are terrible. I'm telling you the honest truth. You'll be amazed at the kind of food they give these people. And guess what? Because these children cannot necessarily communicate to their parents, the parents will not even believe. Most of these students don't even have phones to show their parents the kind of stuff they're given in school. So you'll be amazed that when they get home, the parents will not believe that, come on, you that I pay money for. Why will you come and tell me, oh, you are growing lean, you must be reading, oh, you must read the book, oh. And that's what it is. Do you know what it feels like? Most of us are outspoken today because we found the right environment. Do you know how many children are timid, have self-esteem issues, cannot come out to talk because of the way they've been bullied? They feel so intimidated that even in the presence of their colleagues, they can't stand up. Even in the class, they can't contribute to the subject that's been taught. And that's the problem. So we need to get, we need to get to the root of the matter. Anytime I'm going to say, hello, family, a lot of private schools are just business centers. Huge fees is the name of the game. Students are welfare based secondary. And that's terrible. I think that the Lagos state government, every government in school, have to now checkmate all the schools. If you have to terminate licenses, I think that the requirements to set up a school right now needs to be revisited. It needs to be revised. Because we're in a place right now where it's beginning to feel like the public school is even better than the private school. Because the public school, you go home, it's the food I give you at home, you're going to eat. I mean, as a parent, you don't want to give your child poison. You're looking at what you're giving your child. So as it stands right now, when you're in a public school, you go to school and you come back. Somebody bullies you, you come back. Your parents see a mark on your body. They're asking, who beat you like this? It's a teacher. I go to the school and I show the teacher paper. And that's the honesty. You don't beat a child to a point where the child now carries wounds on the body. You get what I'm talking about? But as a student, as a hostel student, if a teacher beats you to a point where you have injuries on your body, before you go home the next time, the injury is gone. Sometimes you might not even beat the students, and that's why some of the students even go out of hand, because you know that they might not necessarily beat me. If I pay 20 million and you beat my child, so I'm telling you, back and forth. So like now, a parent says I pay 20 million and you're beating my child anyhow, then there's a problem. The school authority would rather fire the teacher than ask the student to leave. So now the teachers are looking at the students. They know that if they don't want to lose their jobs, they know that if they beat the students, the owner of the school, they used to call them mommy school and daddy school, or the owner of the school will fire them as the teachers. So they rather look at the students rot and spoil. They rather look at that student become something else than address the matter and and get fired for it. You get what I'm talking about? Adeoti Kikilamo says everyone is to blame for this death, from the school to the management to the students that bullied him to his parents who just treat him at home at first before going to the hospital. Everybody's to be blamed. That's the honest truth. Thank you very much, Adeoti Kikilamo. Everybody's to be blamed. But the question is, whose neck is on the chopping block? You get what I'm talking about? Is it the school? Is it the hospital? Is it the boys? You get what I'm talking about? For the boys, I'm wondering how boys. Now, some people are saying that, oh, those boys are small boys. I'm saying nobody's a small boy. Boys who are 15 years old, you'll be shocked at what 15-year-old boys are doing. Touts on the road. They have ammunitions. This is no joke. I'm telling you the honest truth. If you see, there was a time that we had the 1 million boys issue in Lagos, Nigeria, where when you hear 1 million boys, you run. You'll be amazed at 15-year-old boys, 16-year-old boys who had arms and were going about, robbing people. So we're saying that the school is to be blamed for this. The management is to be blamed for this. See, first of all, I'm disappointed that the school could even lie. How do you release a press statement? This is a very serious issue. How do you release a press statement claiming that a boy played football without doing due diligence? Even if you thought that he played football, that was what you were told. You do your due diligence. You get what I'm talking about? Somebody said, Jonathan says, school sick bay only need few beds. One experienced nurse and a nurse and a doctor on call. These are not too much as emergency for the poor children and parents paying so much. I mean, that's what it is. You should have an ambulance in school. Have an ambulance. Have a truck that has water. What if fire shows up in the hostel at night? This one that we're talking about is bullying. What if fire shows up in the hostel at night? What happens? What happens to the children who are sleeping? What happens? So you're waiting for the Lagos State Fire Service to come and quench the fire? What happens to all the security people? The security people should know how to drive, should know how to operate the bus, so that in case something happens, somebody gets in there and quenches the fire. We're talking about bullying right now. In the long run, my guys, everyone, fathers, mothers, uncles, aunties, grandmas, please go on social media. We need to amplify this. Justice must be served. Somebody must be responsible for this. Is it the parents that will be responsible? Could Sylvester have made it if he didn't go home? Could Sylvester have made it if the parents didn't take him to some places? If they took him straight to the hospital? We need to know. Where did they take him to? Let's know, what did the doctor or the nurse in the school give him to drink? What did they administer to him? When they checked him, who took him from the school? Where did they take him to? What was the program? Everything that went into the body of Sylvester must be known, must be found out. The guy is dead. Yes, he mentioned names before he died. We need to know what it is. You get what I'm talking about? That's why sometimes we need to document some things. It's crazy. We need to document some things. As fathers and mothers, when your child is even mentioning a name, my dear, everything you can record. You need to record everything. You know what I'm talking about? I like the fact that they recorded him when he was, he was really in pain. That was the video that brought so much outrage on social media. You get what I'm talking about? We record every detail. It's very important. So please, guys, be responsible. Let's not say because we are working, we don't have time for the kids. Ask them questions. People are abusing your kids in school. You have no idea. When auntie is touching your boy in school, you have no idea. You'll be amazed at the perverts we have everywhere, including uncles, aunties, your brothers, your sisters, your siblings are touching your kids. Take it from me. I'm telling you the honest truth. For those of you like your son and daughter staying in the same room, stop it. Give them separate rooms. God's going to provide for you. Get separate rooms for everybody. It's very important. Sit with them, ask them questions. And I like I said earlier, there should be another protest on Wednesday if we do not hear from the government, if we don't hear from the police on the update of the Sylvester case. And I'm going to be there, to bring you video, to bring you live, stream of the protest, and of course to get to the matter of what is happening at the moment. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate you. Please like this video, share this video to everyone you know. Until next time I come your way, I love you all so much, guys, and it's bye for now. God bless you all. Thank you very much.